This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
What's happening, Femme House fam? My name is Her Mix-a-Lot, co-founder and executive director of Femme House. You are listening to Femme House Radio, Pass the Mic edition, where we highlight and amplify LGBTQIA plus voices with a special focus on BIPOC creators. That leads me to my next guest, Beloved Son. What's happening?
What's good?
Yay.
Yay. Beloved Son is composed of poet, artist named You, and if you ask me, like all things musical, Soul Galliano, they came together after meeting on TikTok, and I don't even want to finish the intro because I have to know more about that. Especially, I'm an old ass nigga.
Right.
I'm 37, so this TikTok shit feels like a vibranium, like
Right.
just like it's on some other shit. So like,
The same shit though. Like what? I'm 30. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same shit. How did we meet? So I got on TikTok, right? I'm like, I'm not about to do no damn dances. I'm funny, but not on camera. I can't force it, you know? So I was like, all right. I started seeing musicians do like the 30-day challenge, posting their stuff every day. So I was like, how can I do it differently? So I started like posting my music and like, describing what it was about and stuff. And then Sha appeared on one of my videos, you know? It's just like, commented on it. I went on their page. I'm like, okay. They're an interesting motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So I connected, you know? It's like that.
I want to hear about it from your perspective.
Yeah, from my perspective, I was just scrolling. I mean, I feel like TikTok is a literal abyss of information. And Soul came up on my For You page. It was a video. It had like a couple of likes at that point. And it was them rapping live. I forget what song it was, but I was like, this is incredible, and we started following each other.
So what song was it?
The rest is history.
It was it's a song called Fade in April, and this is like off 2019, some shit like that. But yeah, I was just performing at my friend's event, trying to, come up with content and shit just to post and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So
Yeah.
What I love is that that's one of my favorite songs of theirs, like still to this day. And I didn't even know that was the song that they were performing.
That's right. So like that's the hook. Like that's that song made musical history in more ways than one is giving.
Absolutely.
So you meet on TikTok, you discover your new favorite song, and like what are the next steps? How do you come to create together and work together? You've made an absolutely masterful album. There's like so many things that makes it feel warm and familiar to me. It feels a lot like early 90s, like Michel and Cello, just like in the genreless, like sonic. I can't even. I'll get into how it makes me feel, but like it feels very familiar and very warm, and it also feels like nothing else that's out. It feels like nothing else I've ever heard. It feels so intimate. It feels so familiar. So how do you go from meeting on TikTok? Like, what is the timeline? You meet on TikTok, and then you're making like one of the craziest debut albums I've ever heard. I've been working in the music industry for 20 fucking years. Like, what are those steps?
So or me?
Either of you.
I love how you tell the story. So go ahead.
For sure. So about a month later, was when we actually met in person for the first time. Soul is also part of this collective called Ascendance, and they throw parties, and we met there for the first time. We spent a lot of time together that weekend. I was only there for a weekend, and we spent a majority of my time there together. And it was like instant familiarity. So I'm glad that that is communicated through the music. About 3 or 4 days later, after I left, I think we were just joking around, and I was telling Soul that I wanted to do their drop because a lot of people like my voice on their like as a little tiny like feature. I was never involved in music heavy, but I had some poetry out there and just little drops for people's names. So I told them that I wanted to do that. And I also told them that I had previously written lyrics just for like house music. They're like, let's see what we can come up with then. I've never made house music before, but why not give it a shot? And they sent back, I sent them my vocals literally on a little podcast mic, went to work, came back, they had a song waiting for me, and it was incredible. That was You Dance.
Right, yeah. And then, then we just started just trading back and forth. I think, like, when I was asking them to give me the drop, it was because, like, you know how, like, producers have their drops, but I wanted to have different kinds just to make it creative and stuff. And so, yeah, so after, like, we did that, I felt confident. I was like, all right, let's do this. And, like, I never did this before. Just dive right in. Yeah, that was pretty much the process, just trading back and forth.
So the album started as originally a 3-song like house music EP. I think now it's 11 or 12 tracks.
Some house dance.
Now you're at what, 11 or 12 tracks?
11, yeah.
What was the creative journey? Like, what happened? So first of all, this is one of the, I think this is going to end up being my favorite Femme House interview that I've ever done because there's so much meat, and I'm actually worried that we won't get into everything that I want to talk to y'all about. So, for the audience's listening pleasure, y'all are across the fucking country from one another. So,
yes.
Siobhan, you're in Stockton, California. Soul, you're in New Orleans, Louisiana. You meet on TikTok. You know each other for a month, online only, and then you go to a party together over the weekend and apparently discover that you're like past life soulmates or whatever the fuck you must be to make some shit like this. You decide to make a 3-song house EP, and you come out with like half an hour of 11 tracks of like the craziest shit that I've heard in ages. How? Like, what the fuck? What happened? What happened in the studio? How did you even work in the studio together? You're across the country. You sending shit back and forth. Like, what is the process?
The process is just being like, this is what my day is gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, just having, for me, I was like in my creative spiral, so I would just go up into like the early AM and just be texting them, just like, look, there's another beat, 3 beats, whatever. And it was just like day after day after day after day. Like, as soon as Shah would come back from work, like, let's get to it, We didn't really even hop into the studio till after the whole thing was done. And so I had a bunch of their, like, vocal recordings from, like, the podcast mic and shit like that. And then we just had one studio day where we just cleaned everything. But it was like that. It was, like, every day sending things back and forth and, like, just literally becoming obsessed with the process, Like,
I would say obsession is the word for sure. I would, again, to repeat after Soul, wake up to a flood of text messages, whether that was beats or that was verses that they had put on beats and, just an offload of their own inspiration. And that would, like, propel me through the work day. I would go to work and then literally run home. I swear I didn't have a life for hella long, for at least a solid month for a while there, because I would just be so excited to come home and write stuff and go back and forth for a while. We weren't even FaceTiming at that point. It was literally all just through text, sending things back and forth to each other and being like, oh my god, that was fire, like I need to go back and revise this, or oh my god, you snapped. So it was just like constant cycle of inspiration.
Affirmations
And
too.
I was definitely inspired by soul.
And
Yeah.
Soul,
Same.
you self-produced this entire thing, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. And that was like, like I kind of, I've been producing my own music, but I never like produced for other people, and that's something that I always wanted to do. And so back to what I was saying, how like, after that first reaction I got from the You Dance beat, I was like, okay, like, yeah, let me get into my bag. And then like everything was pretty much like, I think we had like 2 songs that didn't work out, but everything else was like, oh, this is fire. And I know it was just like really there's just the excitement of creating some cool shit and just bouncing back and like not missing and being like just inspired by what's happening. Cause like I never did no shit like this before. Like I pour everything into my music, but this is like something I've never experienced, and I think you can hear that. And we both heard it. We both knew this was gonna be something, bro. Like before anybody said anything, it was like, we have something. I don't know what it is, but let's just keep working. And yeah, shit was crazy.
That's what's
Shit
happening.
was
That's
crazy.
what's up. Siobhan, you're a vocalist
Yeah.
and a poet. Your instrument is your voice. What's been your experience with your primary instrument being your voice with other producers? Because like, what's happening right now with you and Soul, that's a rare thing. That's lightning in a bottle. And you often, I'm a vocalist myself, and you often have to go through a bunch of really unsavory experiences, uncomfortable experiences, to like find this. I haven't found it yet, even. So like, how was this experience different than every other experience that you've probably had using your instrument?
Yeah, I think the difference between this and other experiences that I've had, I think that in the past my voice has been used as an embellishment on a track. And with soul, I feel like a true collaborator in creating something. I think soul saw something that existed within me and kind of coaxed it out. I wrote a full verse for the first time. I feel like the way that we use our respective instruments really complements each other. I was talking to Soul the other day, and it really is harder for other producers now because I feel like the way that I've learned to express myself in this way was totally molded and influenced by the way Soul produces, and that it's like completely intertangled. It feels like, I don't know, we produce like a little musical baby together each time that has like a perfect combination of both of our features and our strengths. So it's incomparable, really. It really is gonna be harder for the next.
That's really dope.
Same.
Like,
And I'm like trying to work with other people and stuff, and it's like the same. It's like if I don't have this energy, I don't want it because I like this. This feels like this is like the purest. Like you just have to really trust each other. Keep it real, keep it raw, and then trust each other. And you know, Shy, you set the standard. That's
And
how
I'm
I
a
feel.
sensitive crybaby. I'm a little sensitive crybaby, so I don't like feedback like that. But with soul, okay, I'll take a little bit.
small doses.
Right.
So
That was cool.
this album feels like old school, like a jam session. It really feels like y'all locked yourselves in a studio and just played and had fun and left a lot of space for yourselves and for the process, which is why I'm still fucking stuck that y'all did this in completely different fucking states. How did the sound evolve from what you thought was just going to be a little like Nini around the house, like house EP, into like an opus? Like what happened? Especially, I feel like that's the sort of thing that can happen very organically when you're in the same room and you're just like hunkered down for a couple of days together, just like eating, sleeping, breathing the music. But I feel like that's a much harder sell when you're not in the same room, because like, I mean, you're not even in the same time zone, bro. Like the energies,
Right.
the alignment of the energy in this context for y'all is like, I cannot believe it. You have to excuse me like fawning all over myself right now, but I can't believe it. What was the sonic evolution that took place for y'all to be like, yo, this is much more than what we were giving it?
Well, I think that thankfully Soul and I are both fluid in our emotions and fluid in our relationship to art. So we can call something or set the expectation for something, but still allow it to transform before us and to be transformed by it instead of being hard and true to what we want it to be. So I think it became more about how are we feeling, especially with something that's so emotionally involved. It's something that is so emotionally influential, at least in this era of our life. It became, one, how does this make us feel? And two, is this a reflection of how we're feeling? So, and I'm sure Soul can touch more on this, like what comes to mind is Crying in Color.
Right. Yeah, the process of producing, like I told you, it was like late night spirals. It was, for me, in my own personal work, I try to just be with the feeling no matter which way it goes. And that was really important for me too, to like create things that felt good. So yes, like I wanted to go outside of like my comfort zone and make something dance. So, you know, I'm a sad boy. At heart, I am a sad boy. My music is very raw, but I wanted to do something different. But like, you know, again, it's just you go with the feeling and it just became what it became. Like, so, and it again, with the trusting too, is, you know, like presenting these beats to Shah, these ideas of like this work, this, you know, and then, you know, just kind of vibing and seeing what feels good.
Oh yeah. So
it's like a day by day.
For sure. Speaking of day by day and keeping it fluid, what's next for y'all? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? We're ending a year. I'm manifesting hard. What's going down for next year? I can tell y'all be manifesting by the lyrics on this, John. So like, what are y'all? What's the next rise of the beloved son look like? What's on the calendar? What's in your hearts?
Go ahead, Shaka.
Go ahead, Soul. Okay. My personal belief, because yes, it's like manifestation, but I think from the beginning it's just been like this hard and true belief that something is just going to be like it has to be. So my belief at this point is that next year we will be touring, be that as an opener for somebody or our own mini tour that we plan ourselves. I think everything is just electric and exciting to plan with Soul. Nothing feels impossible. We have a single coming out outside of our latest body of work called Money Trees, January 20th. And that was just a little song that was made the last time we were in person together. It's like a few hours before my flight back home. We were sitting at the kitchen table like, we got to do something.
Right.
And so that's that.
I'm gonna need the link to that immediately for my own.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll send you the demo, the rough cut right quick so you can buy it.
Yeah. I'm like fiending on Beloved Son. That's the thing about this record. It's only 25 minutes long, so every time it's just like, it's like y'all are gonna lose your mind, and like maybe I'm being unhinged about this, but like the only record that I have had to listen to top to bottom, and like no matter where I jump in, I have to like continue the flow, has been fucking Renaissance. And like this is like the same. After 23 minutes or whatever it is, I'm just like, yo, not this, is over again. I'm just like, why am I playing with myself? Just put this shit on repeat.
I'm so honored. Thank you.
No, thank you.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, this is God body stuff. I don't see this often. I don't feel like this often. I'm really glad to have met y'all and discovered what y'all have got going on, and I can't wait to support y'all and just like, you got a cheerleader right here, baby, like for real.
Appreciate
Thank you so much.
For sure. So tell the.
What do you have going
what
on?
do I have going on?
Right.
Let us reverse this real quick.
Damn, you just gonna reverse me.
So you need some beats?
Come on.
I am
Come on,
actually.
Lori.
I have been writing an album for the past year, and I wanted to self-produce it, but I'm still learning how to produce. So like maybe there is a collaboration. But yeah, that's what I'm up to. I'm trying to tap in a little harder to my artistic gifts and honor them a little harder
I love
next
that
year.
you're trying to self-produce, because I think that's where it all comes together. That's why I started too. Like, there was something more. I believe that for you too.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And like we started Femme House for a couple of reasons. Um, One reason was so that artists like you, Siobhan, who like have this as the gift, can know enough to go into a situation with a producer, to know enough to go in with an engineer to a studio, and even if you don't know how to work all the shit, you know enough to like take control of your shit, right? Where you can say like it's not gonna be some nigga talking down to you because you don't know what reverb is. You're just like, no, actually, my voice sounds best with this, and this. And the other reason was just to give people a little bit more power in shaping their own narratives, right? Their own musical journeys. And I had an aha moment. We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary this past May, and I was just like, thank you very much. I was like, we grew this community from like a dozen people in Ableton Studios, like around our laptops, to like 10,000 strong, and like I haven't once taken one of the own courses that I've fucking like given to the world. Like, what is the disconnect, girl?
That's
like,
how it is sometimes.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to double down on that in 2023 and sort of like walk it how I talk it a little bit more. Yeah. And as for Femme House, man, we just plugging along. We just create an opportunity everywhere we can. We're trying to do more live activations, do more festival takeovers, more stage takeovers, and just provide as many opportunities as we can to the community. And give people some jobs, give people some flyers to put under their belt. So I say all that to say too, y'all's ass is about to be on an awful lot of stuff in 2023 if I got something to do about it.
Wow, thank you. And if there's any way that we can contribute or help to whatever you're attempting to actualize, please let us know, even if it doesn't put us on a platform. Like, we appreciate. You've been magnificent. We were so nervous about this interview, and obviously doing interviews, we're learning that people ask the same questions, but this has been so genuine and engaging, and I like feel very connected to you, so thank you.
And the feeling is 100% mutual. Before we go, I have a question that I ask everybody when I talk to them for the first time, and I'm going to ask you each individually. I'm going to start with you, Soul. You're sitting down with your younger self. What do you say to them?
What do I say to my younger self? I say that, life doesn't get as easier as I wish, that it does. But I do become wise, and I do become stronger, and I become talented, and I become beautiful, and, still on that journey right now. I tell them that they're loved, shit like that. Anyway.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Siobhan, what you got?
I would tell my younger self that there are friends waiting to be had, so just hold on a little bit longer.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, shit, that's...
What about you?
Man, damn, you keep Uno reversing me. Is your Uno deck nothing but reverse
yes,
cards?
You can't know all this intimate stuff about me and like not expect it to be an exchange. Like, I'm confused.
Don't ask me a question.
Like, I know my heart just twinged a little bit. You feel me?
Right.
All right, we getting vulnerable. I feel that. I'll say. I tell my younger self, don't be scared. Don't be scared of them. Don't be scared of yourself. Don't be scared of your gifts. Don't be scared. And even if you are scared, do it anyway. So, it's her Mix-a-Lot. This has been Femme House Radio, Pass the Mic edition. Beloved son, you are my beloved son. At this point, y'all are absolutely wonderful human beings. The work that you're doing is so important and insightful and prescient and important to the moment. I can't wait to see what you're going to get up to. I can't wait to see you win. I can't wait to help you win. And I really, really appreciate y'all's time. Anyway, Femme House fam, this is her Mix-a-Lot. It has been Femme House Radio. Peace.
Free your soul, free your mind, just let go. Free the people, free your soul, free your mind. Just let the people, free 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 the people. Free your soul, free your mind, just let go. Free the people, free your soul, free your mind, just let go. Free the people, free your soul.